Newcastle's in the final. Yeah, lads. Big up. Smashing out Arsenal. 4-0 in aggregate. Love it, lads. The mighty tune in another final. It's not against my club in the background there. So don't worry. Might have a chance to win. First and foremost, congratulations. Eddie Howe going to win a trophy. Yeah, because I think you lot are going to win anyways. That was one of my favorite games of the season, I must admit. We all was watching it in the living room and we was loving every minute of it. Whoever went to the game, you're lucky. You're lucky. Good training session today, lads. Good training session. Oh, wait. It was the second leg. What a fight. You know, barely broke a sweat. We will talk about it. I'm going to break down the game. Just make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe. All that good stuff. We're going to dive right into it. But I must say, what a performance, both legs. What a performance. And Eddie Howe, you got some tactics in your back room. Absolutely sensational. I enjoyed every single minute of it. You wanted it more. Your crowd wanted it more. And it just shows. And I can't wait to watch some AFTV tonight because, yeah, we know what's coming. Stay humble, eh? Yeah. So Newcastle, there we go. Up the tune. Let's get straight down into business. What we learned. This is what we learned. Well, we learned that, you got the minerals first and foremost, not even on the list. Get your own list going on. Let me know in the comments afterwards as well. So as I'm saying, you might think I'm waffling. You might think, oh, you might have missed this one out. But this is what I've jotted down. First and foremost, what a start. What a start. Energy, atmosphere, the lot. And you know what? It paid off in the end. You got an offside goal. It was offside, right? From the angle I could see it from, it looked wayward personally, but after, review, it was actually offside. But yeah. And then straight afterwards, I thought Arsenal, wait, hold on. Arsenal are getting into this game. Wait, Erdegaard doing little flicks and tricks with Trossard and Martinelli. All right, okay. Yeah, he misses that. And what do? That man, Isak, once again, shows up. And then who's at the back post? Murphy. Put some respect on Murphy's name now, and including myself. Yeah, for someone who's been having an absolute phenomenal season, we talk about right wingers that I needed at the club. Who better than Murphy at the moment? I think he's like an unsung hero, maybe. Maybe you guys do sing his name, but he's having a good season, and I think he goes under the radar with obviously us other fans. You look towards your names, your Bruno Gomes, your Tonali's, your Isaks, even Anthony Gordon. But that man keeps showing up in the right places, just like he did at Fulham back. But you're not just there lurking. So I feel for me, I'm like his performances. I'm liking the way that you lot play football. I haven't expressed that enough. I prefer to watch you other than other people. Other teams, shall I say, sorry, not even people. If I see you in Liverpool, I'm going to watch Newcastle. Up the tune. Away the lads. This game meant as much to me as it probably meant to you lot. With Trent, it means more. But yeah, I feel like he deserves his credit, and I think there's a lot of players that deserve their credits. So these are two other players that I feel like deserve their credit. You might want to change Sven Botman's name to Sven Bossman, yeah, because that guy is just a unit. Cleaned up. Do you know what I mean? It's like if you go to a club and there's a bunch of women there, you know that Sven Bossman's cleaning up. It's simple as that. He's just that good. Good looking lad. He's just come back and you've rested him for about a couple of games, and this is exactly where you needed him. You could tell this was Eddie Howe's plan and Jason Tyndall and the rest of them. Use him in the game that matters. You got good enough players to get you through other games. Yes, your form's been not that great at home recently, but oh my God, that atmosphere. I can't stop talking about the atmosphere. Even Daps was telling me, oh, this is going to be rocking. And it was. And then we're going to have to change Dan Burn as well. We've done a job at left back, left centre back. Whichever way you want to look at it. And we'll praise Eddie Howe on that notice, but it's Dan Fire. Because he's been on form all season. He hasn't been ripped up. I thought little Wanyeri was going to come on and say, oh, we might give him a little bit of problem. But he's already far gone, 3-0 aggregate. Martinelli came off, didn't do anything against him. Who cares? And at the end of the day, it's an Eddie Howe masterclass. It's a masterclass. And not just with that, he put out a shape that gets criticised, by the way, 3 at the back, and he hasn't done it all season. The back 5 stuff is when you want to, be reserved, right? And obviously sit back and hold on to a lead potentially. But he produced a back 3 system, back 5 system, and he went to attack. So for me, and of course, once again, press. Who needs Joe Linton? It can show that you can play nasty and be, that team that wants to boss other teams even without him. So I think that shows today that you can do it without, and you don't have to rely on rugby players. No offense, but yeah. And I thought, you know what, he's gone to this back five system, and what I found a little bit different about it was like it looked like a back four more time. But you saw Lewis Hall doing the line, and where he's centre mid, left wing, or back at left back to help out Dan Burn, because Trippier was quite reserved or passive in like his position on the right hand side. You didn't really see Trippier go past the halfway line more time, maybe because of age, or maybe just for defensive stability. But what Eddie Howe done nicely here was with Lewis Hall, he's got the energy, he's got young legs, right? And he can do that all day long. And I feel like, you know what? It looked more like a 4-2-3 with like a left mid, like a left centre mid, but just a wide left centre mid at all times. And it was pretty much doing a job. Kind of reminds me of Ander Herrera slightly against Eden Hazard, just like literally all down that line that he played years and years ago. Like down that left-hand side that Hazard loves. It was just Ander Herrera just following him. Forget about your central mid position. You're going to follow this guy and mark him out. And it kind of made Timber a lot more reserved than Murray. Because every time there was a break, when Timber did get adventurous, the press would come back, the counter press would be on, Newcastle would, go, you win the ball back. And before you know it, this Gabriel and Saliba isolated, and you got like a 2-3 maybe situation, and Declan Rice has to do doggy work all the way back. So there it is. I thought, you know what, it's a masterclass. And, again, this is my part with the media. I thought Lewis Hall could easily have got a man of the match performance today, because he gets, goes under the radar. There's a lot of hype around Lewis Skelly. I understand it. He's young. He's 17. He deserves his flowers as well, to be fair. But we're talking about the future of England. And, before this game, there was a lot of hype. They were milking it, right? All about Arsenal, not even about Newcastle, none of that. It was, what about Lewis Hall? I've kind of noticed recently with commentary and media, they like to just, brush you lot under the carpet. Don't really talk about Livramento. Don't want to really talk about the other young players like Lewis Miley, who's just come back from injury. Lewis Hall's been putting in good performances all year. We talk about the future of England. What about him? That's the way I look at it. What about him? Mint player, by the way. I wish I had him. What a find. And he's actually a Newcastle fan as well. So there we go. The other one I thought is just that your team, it barely broke a sweat. For a team that has so much confidence in their fan base, after saying stay humble and doing like mad celebrations to Manchester City, just not a few days ago, barely broke a sweat against this team. So that 5 goals that they created, and it could have been 7, didn't do anything. I thought the only one that could have done a little bit more was maybe Havertz in the first half. Could have made it 1. There could have been another. Who knows, right? But for me, how easy was that? On a real, how easy was that for Newcastle earlier today? Sorry, how easy? Because I just don't remember you lot getting moved out of your shape in the second half. I didn't really see anyone moaning. I saw Bruno Guimaraes doing kick-ups in the first half in the 43rd minute. That says everything you need to know. And then you lot are doing ways when you're just doing all passes, ping-ponging it. It's a joke. And you know what? They haven't, Sorry. St. James's Park is, look, it's a cauldron, right? But for someone that's in a semi-final, at least go and have a fight. Go and have a fight with these teams. And they didn't even show you fight today because you lot had too much for them. Too much physicality as well, which is at the bottom there. And, of course, even without Joe Linton, even without much of a bench. But even then, they barely got a bench as well. Fair enough, right? But you just washed them away. Defending easy. The shape too much. Banks of 4-4-2, 5-3, 5-4-1s. However you see fit, no one's getting moved out of position. Dan Burn clearing up. Fabian Schär clearing up. Dubravka with a really good save as well. Yeah, let's not notice that. Got injured, And again, it played into Newcastle's hands time and time again. But you know what? Because Eddie Howe's English, and the British manager's never won. Well, British manager has, but an English manager's never won the Prem and everything. Not going to get the plaudits. Just going to say, yep, Brexit football, press, hard running. That's it. I wouldn't be surprised that if tomorrow or whenever I listen to a stream, they're going to say Newcastle played a low block. They played a low block. The tune weren't, the tune were just there. Anyone can play low block. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, football. Move on with your day. I'm here to defend you guys. At one point, I did say, I thought I thought you guys were going to actually lose potentially. I thought, you know what, there could be a momentum shift. Fulham won, but then when the team's been backed into the corner, you expect them to come out, right? And I feel like at home, your last two home games you have done with basically Bournemouth as well. And I thought, you know what? It depends if, and I got this on literally on file, so I'm not lying. I said if, and this was only earlier, by the way, if you're watching on the day of the game, is that I said if Sven Botman plays 2-0. 2-0, no, 2-1, sorry. I said it was going to be a 2-1. I think it would be comfortable because he makes the difference. You can have Fabian Schär and obviously Dan Burn at centre backs at times. You could play Livramento, the typical back four that's been played quite a lot this season, but it's not Sven Botman. So yeah, that's my points for today. I thought Bruno was wicked. I thought, you know what? I could say all the players. You know what? I don't really want to single out a particular player anymore. I mentioned 3, I would say maybe 4. They were all good. Everyone gets 10s. There was not one player that put down anything lower than a 9 for me. Not Dubravka, not Trippier, not Fabian Schär, the ones that are not going to get mentioned. Lewis, I can't believe Lewis Hall never got much of a mention. That's insane. And even Murphy, he scored the goal, and all of a sudden it's about Gordon. But then again, look, Gordon could have done a little bit better. He's pressing, and when you come to anticipation, I feel like he could have made the second goal when when Raya, I don't know what happened. He was out of his line. If he was more left-footed or didn't put as much curve in it, it's back of the goals, 2-0 was ended. But he made up for it. So yeah, that's my final piece. Make sure you smash the likes. Let me know what you think in the comments. Away the lads, I hope you win the final. You deserve it, in my opinion. Not Liverpool, not Tottenham. Forget those. Don't let anyone ruin your night. So yeah, in a piece, and yeah, on to the next one.